Good Wednesday morning. And wow, is it Wednesday morning? Jesus Christ. Hey, welcome to Ice Age TV. Uh-oh, got dog down the street. Incredible timing. How my neighbor walks her dog the exact same time I bring my dogs out. Come on, pups. Let's get the barn. Come on, get the barn. It's going to be a fiasco. Come on, Tang. Oh, anyways, hey, welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age TV YouTube channel that talks about the cars and trucks and motorcycles and the dogs and all that good stuff. Hey, good morning there. Hope everybody's doing great. Appreciate you coming in, watching my channel today. And why can't things just be simple? Why is it my life? If you look around, Sky, they should be talking about simple, right? Anybody that is in tune with my channel and looks at all the things I have. Come on, Pops, let's go. Come on. Oh my gosh. Trying to get the dogs in the barn as fast as possible. But otherwise, it turned into a fiasco this morning, chasing my dogs on the yard. So yeah, the simple conversations. And I think to myself, boy, oh boy, first thing I'm going to do is get the dogs in the office because my other dog is still running around and he'll start barking. Then all these dogs will disappear. So it's all about, come on, Pops, let's go, come on. Where is that dog? Get in. Come on, get in. So anyways, hey, wow. Simple. Yeah. Does the Jeep keep the good simple tradition of the Jeep product? I mean, when I look at the Jeep product, such as this Jeep Gladiator, if you look at this vehicle, if you look underneath of it here, it has a solid front axle. And boy, if that isn't just the true beginnings of the Jeep, having solid front and rear axles. And when you look inside the vehicle here is just so simple in my eyes. If it had a keyed ignition, it'd even be simpler. So for the Jeep brand, it seems like the simple factor has been their goal, and they've kind of accomplished that for so many years, and they haven't ruined it. Another product here. Hey there, Willow. Let's get Willow in the office so he doesn't start barking. Come on, Will. Another really cool thing is the Harley-Davidson product. If you look at motorcycles, aren't the motorcycles so much about being simple? I mean, really. I mean, even though, to a degree, the technology in them, like my Honda Goldwing, a lot of technology in it. But when you go to Harley-Davidson, their success has been through just keeping their products really simple. I mean, they have not evolved into like the Indian, having a little bit more of a entertainment info center and the electronic windshield and then electronic suspension. Harley's been a lot more conservative, just trying to keep things simple. Look at Dodge. They brought back the retro look of the 70s Challenger and just try to keep it simple. And so for me, doesn't it seem that more than ever in our time, keeping things simple is a challenge? I mean, more than ever in modern times, doesn't it seem like everything's getting way too complicated? And we're going to talk about the simple things of life. And like I say, anybody that's watching my channel, I'll be the first guy to say, yeah, right. You live a simple lifestyle with all these cars and trucks and motorcycles and blah blah. I hear you loud and clear. Let's get in the office here. And I missed that fiasco. Thank goodness my dogs did not see the neighbor walking the dog. It's chilly. It's a chilly morning. It's the May up here, but it's a typical Northeast May where it just is cold. This area is so notorious for being one extreme to the other. I mean, we'll barely have like a cool time. We'll really go from kind of the winter months into the summer months, and we don't really get that really nice 70-degree weather with not much humidity. It doesn't last very long. So it's just like it goes from being cold to being humid and muggy and all that other stuff. You know, it's so funny, Mike. This one computer here I have, it's so temperamental on, I don't know what's going on with it. It's doing things that, but anyways, it's not simple, right? I mean, just with the technology of these computers, anybody here that's not computer literate, how do you, how do you survive? How do you interact today in today's world if you don't know the basics of the computer. Then you'd be amazed at how many people don't. I mean, I'm very fortunate. My father and mother, they're very computer literate. My dad's 91 years old, and he really does figure out things. But you know as well as I do, there's so many people out there that just aren't computer literate. They're computer illiterate, right? So, boy, I gotta get the heat on here. It's cold. I'm not even wearing my buff. I really could be wearing my buff because it just wraps around your neck, and it just doesn't let the cold air get down, and you get cold, get sick. Yeah, I'm surprised. I should have put that on. It's 40 degrees this morning, I believe. I'm just like, wow. Even for me, I'm even being fooled by the weather. As my seats that I have for years, I gotta get a new chair. But it's just all about time. Being the one-man show, running the company right now, my daughter is going to be okay. She has a really bacterial infection, and it's from working around my business. It's such a nasty-ass business. I am such a high-class grunt of the industry I'm in. You just have no idea. It's so nasty. So, yeah, the kid, you know, realistically, two weeks of popping pills to beat this bacteria. What's the biggest challenge anymore in today's world? All these viruses and sickness, and it just can't be a simple cold anymore, can it? It gets radical. So for me, the simple is so, it's just so broad. Simplicity. Does anybody remember the Simplicity lawnmowers and lawn tractors? Anybody remember that? I don't even know when they started, but they were around back in the 70s. I remember seeing those growing up, and I even saw them years ago, but Simplicity. Anybody that? So simple minds, you know, what's that? Is that a song or something? Oh my gosh. So yeah, so simple for us in here's my cough. The morning cough, and I'm drinking a different coffee. I went to Sam's Club yesterday to buy my K cups for my little Keurig machine. $42 for a box of Starbucks. I opted for the $22 box of Sam's members French roast coffee. But does it irritate me? We're going to find out, right? So, anyways, the simple things for us, especially my age and generation, it's just the good old days. Does anybody just kind of like say to themselves, man, wouldn't it be just good if we could go back to good old days? I mean, for me, it's when I watch on TV anymore, if I watch TV and I get in late in the evening usually, I'll watch the Andy Griffith Show, Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies, Hogan's Heroes. That's kind of the shows that I usually watch. I just can't watch the news. And for the sports arena, it just has kind of turned me off as well because it's just so opinionated. So there's so many well-known athletes now that want to get the political jargon and political views. And it's just like, you know, I just don't want to hear it. I just don't have any desire to support you making your, you know, $100 million, billion-dollar contracts, and you're going to tell me how to live my life when you're not even living in reality, the reality of the world that we most live in, that are struggling financially to make it day by day. But yet these people want to mouth off. So I'm just like, nope, I ain't watching it. I just have turned it off. It's just really bad. And that's the whole point. You go back to simple days when anybody used to turn the TV on to watch basketball or baseball, football. It was just about the sport. And the athletes didn't get all this incredible attention. I mean, it's anybody, don't get me wrong, the select few have always had attention. But if you go to all these sports talk shows, I mean, how in depth do they continue to talk about the same person over and over again and over again? I mean, years and years ago, I used to watch that stuff. It drives you nuts to hear these guys evaluating and analyzing people all day long, and they made their millions of just running their mouth all day long when most of the time they were wrong. Oh my gosh. So the whole point is simple lives, simple cars. And that's what drove this conversation this morning. Is that, yeah, that coffee's getting me, as you can tell. The simple things of our life growing up, most of us grew up where you got in a car, it was a stick shift car. It was a lock and tumbler keyed ignition in the side of the steering column. And, you know, you started the car up, put it in gear, you drove down the road, and you had a turn signal, and your headlights you turned on. And you know, we all know. Very simple. You go to the gas station, get out of your car, you fill up the gas, X amount of minutes, and off you go. But yet today, more than ever, the technology that we're around among us, and especially in these cars and vehicles, just for me, driving these different vehicles. And I have them to just honestly say it gets frustrating sometimes. You get these vehicles, you're just like befuddled. I mean, I'll never forget driving the Rivian truck. If you watch my YouTube channel and you go back to, I don't know if it was probably 2 summers ago. I just can't keep track, but I test drove a Rivian. That was the most confusing vehicle I've ever put myself into, being I had really no knowledge of the vehicle. That vehicle was the most advanced technology vehicle I've ever sat in with electronics. And even the sales guy that was there, even he was befuddled. Even he couldn't figure it out. I mean, it was incredible that we're there, sitting there, and we're both trying to figure out how to turn the car on. We're both trying to figure out how to unlock it. And then I'm trying to get it and drive it. I mean, that car, if you don't do your research on it, it's way too complicated. I mean, even the points like I have no desire to own this car. It's just too complicated. I think the average person would go up to that car and they would just walk away from I don't want this car. And don't get me wrong, the car's a cool vehicle. I know that. But the technology side is just too much. And for us motorhead ICE people, we just love the simplicity of our gas engines and putting gasoline in them and driving down the road. But yet, more than ever, we're being forced to be told that the electric vehicle is your future transportation vehicle. And with all this technology in it, and all these dynamics of it, and all this, what you need to understand about the car, and where you go charge it, and what charging station you need to buy for your house to charge your car. I mean, isn't it incredible? Can you even imagine when you bought a gasoline car years ago? You had to go buy your own gas tank. Then you had to figure out what size gas tank you had to buy. Then you had to figure out what grade gas to buy. I mean, what fuel pump you bought for the car. I mean, can you even imagine? And that's where we are today more than ever. You go buy an electric car, and you got to figure out the dynamics of how you charge your car efficiently. Because if you just plug it into a 110 outlet, it's going to take a week to recharge it. And if you go to a 220 like I did, a 220 outlet, it typically takes a good 8-10 hours or more. Could be 14, 16 hours, that F-150 Lightning truck with that big battery pack. And you have to, or you go to the Pro Charger. But for me, they go to the Pro Charger. I don't have a big enough phase panels to accommodate. I got to bring all new electric in. So once again, can you even imagine, years ago going to buy a gasoline car and you having to design a special fuel site at your residence to just fill up your car to be able to use it? I mean, in so many aspects, that's where we are with electric vehicle. And it's all okay. And it's not going to be a big deal that you have to call the oil company every X amount of days to come refill your tank up or whatever it may be. And everybody else doing the same thing. And it won't be a challenge of the, hey, but here's an idea. Let's just build one big gas station up the street from your house. And there you go. But that's kind of where the mindset is to a degree on charging cars. But we all know that it can take 20, 30 minutes in a charging station, that all of a sudden 10 people show up at the same time with 10 charging stations. Your time, if you're in line now, just turns into an hour-plus project, right? And so here's the interesting information. Elon Musk with Tesla, apparently worldwide, every 13 hours, they complete another supercharging station facility. Wow. Did you just hear that? Every 13 hours on average, Tesla is completing another supercharging station to allow people to go and charge their cars. And this is a worldwide number. So for us sitting here, continue to want to deny the electric thing ain't going to happen. And, you look at Ford's most recent, profits, first quarter, like $1.9 billion on the ICE end, not on the electric end. And keep in mind, Ford They were smart. They separated the E division from the ICE division because the E division's taken a hurting, and even showed how the EV side is down in sales, but the ICE side is up in sales because all the supply issues are kind of starting to work themselves out to a degree, but not totally. But and what's interesting is the Ford Mach-E has been discounted yet again. It's like $4,000 cheaper now for the high-end Mach-E. So my Ford Mustang Mach-E, it just continues to take a notch. Where I live, I can give back that Ford Mustang Mach-E. In the state of Virginia, there's no recourse for repossessions. This is something that anybody out there that's in financial dire straits in their life, lives in the state of Virginia, I know this information because I'm a business person and I read a lot of things. So if you live in the state of Virginia and you no longer can make your car payments or motorcycle payments or boat payments, whatever it may be, RV payments, you can voluntarily release that vehicle back to the bank and they can't go after you financially. Yes, that's a new law that was passed in January of 2021. Why the state of Virginia did that, I think it was all pandemic related. And so for you as an individual, the bank cannot have financial recourse on you. And ask me how I know. I've already had to do this one time. I got into a major blowout with a company called Chrysler Capital on charging me ridiculous amount of money for carrying the notes. During the pandemic, everybody had the opportunity to take waive payments on their cars. And Chrysler Capital, I did that, and they charged me ridiculous amounts of finance monies on my vehicle, and I told them I'm not paying that. And they're like, well, yes, you are. I'm like, no, you're not. Come get the car. They're like, but it's going to hurt your credit. I'm like, you ain't going to be able to touch me. It's the state of Virginia. Oh, no. I'm like, okay, good. Go for it. So, true story. They came by and took my vehicle, and it took a few months, and they sent me a nasty letter to pay them all this money, and I sent them a nasty letter back saying, state of Virginia protects the citizens that voluntarily release their vehicle back to the financial institution, and you have no financial recourse on me to pay any lost debts. And so, for me, the Ford Mustang Mach-E, the rate it's going, I paid premium price, and in so many ways, that vehicle is so much a loss of a vehicle. I mean, borderline. I feel like telling Ford, like, hey, Ford, take your car back. Why is it fair that I paid a ridiculous amount of money of a vehicle that you now are discounting left and right because you can't sell them? But last year, I was only so lucky to get one, and you couldn't build them fast enough. So here's Ford. Jim Farley's claim is, and here's the thing, the Tesla's division was up 39%. Ford's division on the Mach-E was down a 20% plus. It's bigger than that. These things are not selling. It's smoke and mirrors. So Jim Farley's statement here yesterday was, well, we idled the Ford Mustang Mach-E's due to supply issues. Yeah, are you kidding me? They idled their operation because dealers are like, we don't want these things. We don't want them. We don't want them, Jim Farley. We don't want them. So his story is they idled the cars because of supply chain issues, but now they're going to ramp up production in Mexico to start making a ton more of them. But people aren't buying them. And his claim is, we're not going to get in the price war. You just discounted the Ford Mach-E GT premium package I have, $4,000 yesterday. Okay, that's an 8%, cut in price. And you discounted it. I mean, it's just, oh my gosh, wow. Hey, simple things, right? And that's the thing that more than ever is so aggravating for so many of us. It just seems a simple answer. It's like you go to a car dealership and you want to know the price. Have you ever gotten like the simple answer price? Anybody here? Can anybody here tell me? And gone to buy a car, and within minutes time, you have the simple, real answer of how much your trade's worth. There's a lot of variables. And don't get me wrong. I bet he's watching my channel. It's a car salesperson. It's very challenging. But you know as well as I do, it's not that simple. There's so many variables. Are you paying cash? You're financing it. In one state, the dealership can charge you a $500 add-on. back end fees. In our dealership, in our state, can charge up to $1,000. In one state, they can charge you higher interest rates than actually the deal they got off the car, meaning you're told that your deal is approved at 12%. Unbeknownst to you, your deal is approved at 9%. But the finance guys are playing the game. They get the 3% difference. They get a commission off of that. Yeah, hello. That's huge in the automotive industry. When you go to buy a car, the finance side gets a kickback from the bank for whatever financing rate they can negotiate with you. So you're not getting the real story of what the real deal is on that financing, unless you go to your own credit union, your own bank, and you bring your own deal to the table, or you can write a check. Wow. Simple. Where it's just everything around us seems to become so complicated. Everything. I mean, you look at the school systems. One, it used to be just about the basic math and history and English and science, and you had recess and you had gym class. Now what do you hear what's going on in schools? Yeah, half those things I just talked about seem to be gone. Yeah, it's more about ideology, right? So, getting the morning going with the voice and the morning coffee to get me going as well. So, oh my gosh, here's another thing that is really concerning in so many ways is this artificial intelligence, this chat GPT, this generative pre-trained transformer. It's really, to me, myself, I'm not here to brag because I'm just not really what I want to do. I just want to share information that hopefully others can relate with. But here's the thing. Last fall, when Elon Musk was pursuing Twitter, I was always scratching my head. Why does Elon Musk want Twitter? And the only thing I could figure out was he wants it for artificial intelligence. I really strongly felt last fall that Elon Musk wants to use Twitter to advance his own artificial intelligence technology. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Look at Tesla. I've talked about it so many times. Tesla cars are not simple cars. I mean, they're computerized cars. He would have been the first, really, in the market of bringing a really computerized car, more so than anybody else, per se, of Tesla. And I've talked about how he has cameras on all these cars from day one to be training all these cars for artificial intelligence in the vehicles, to be self-driving, autonomous vehicles. So for Elon Musk, yeah, they're starting to come to light of what's going on. And what's very intriguing here is for Elon Musk, in 2010, he was with the he was with the original AI Foundation beginnings. That is it, the Build Dream Build, or it's something, that name that Google bought, which is now part of Alphabet. But apparently, Elon Musk in 2010, he was in the beginning stage of being a key individual that's trying to get the artificial intelligence to start its true beginnings. And Elon Musk, over the last 13 years, has been actively trying to, in so many ways, have his own artificial intelligence. So back in 2010, he was part of what became owned of Google, Alphabet, and Larry Page, who's the CEO of that artificial intelligence, and then he ended up butting up with Sam Altman to create OpenAI, which that happened back like in 2000. I thought it was 2015, maybe in 2017. So Elon Musk was one of the key of like 5 people, including Sam Altman, of creating OpenAI, which is that thing that came out last fall, is the Chat GPT, the generative pre-trained transformer. And so Elon Musk wanted the advancement of that technology to be moving quicker. He wanted more control of it. It didn't work out. So he raised his hand and he left the company. And supposedly, just here in March, Elon has created a new company called X.AI. And it's a Nevada-based incorporated company. And he's hired away from Google a key guy that is an engineer and designer of all this technology. He's the guru guy to work for his XI or X.AI. And so for Elon Musk, he continues to talk about how concerned he is of this advancement of this artificial intelligence. But yet, at the same time, he's the guy pushing for it and he wants to have it. And he truly believes that eventually it will figure out the universe. But what's really intriguing about this, and I keep on saying intriguing, is for Elon Musk, last December, he shut down the Google or the OpenAI, Sam Altman's company, OpenAI, ChatGPT, from interacting with Twitter. Because Elon Musk literally had to go meet with Sam Altman because he started calling him out for using the Twitter platform to help train artificial intelligence. And so there it is. There it is. I so talked about last year that the only reason Elon Musk wanted Twitter was that it was just infinite content. Infinite. I mean, you're talking about the troves beyond troves of interaction of us individuals in a social platform that now he owned and had control of. He can start feeding all this information to the artificial intelligence to create even a more advanced artificial intelligence. So to me, boy, oh boy, if I didn't hit that on the head, I did. And right now, he's trying to raise money for his own artificial intelligence. And as you know, he was just down in the White House or down at the Capitol Hill talking to the legislature about how dangerous this artificial intelligence is and where it can go if it's not handled right. So it's like Elon is totally trying to control this artificial intelligence so that he's like the kingpin of this artificial intelligence. Yeah, is it simple? It's not simple. That's the whole point. Is this artificial intelligence that's coming to us sooner than later, is it going to make your life simpler? And that's a whole other discussion. As I was watching on Business News this morning, the irony of all this is the Fox Business News had a whole segment this morning. Wow, crude is under 70. I just saw this on the Fox Business News. It's at $69.50. Wow. Boy, how do I get paid? How do I get paid for predicting the future? Right, yeah, right. Yeah. Good luck on that, right? Oh, I gotta have some more coffee. It's probably making me even hack and cough more. Oh well, it is what it is. I gotta get my energy going, man. Need my liven me up. Keep it simple. So on this morning's wow, $69.50. It is, yeah. So Fox Business News, Walmart is using ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, to negotiate their vendor relationships. So it's already happening. So major companies such as Walmart, they're already using artificial intelligence to negotiate their vendor relationships. Wow. I mean, and then there's already so much talk about how artificial intelligence eliminates so many tech individuals' jobs and positions. I mean, wow. Right? I mean, yeah, is it going to make your life simpler? It sure is. You're not going to have a job. You're going to be sitting at home with a lot of simple things to do, like clean your own dishes and vacuum your own house and I guess turn the TV on and hope you get your unemployment check. I mean, I don't know. It's not good. And as we know, the goal with Elon Musk is to have these self-driving, self-autonomous vehicles. So it's so interesting on how Elon is trying to totally control the advancement of technology never seen in our lifetime that involves computers becoming us. Wow. I mean, it's just, I was thinking to myself something else this morning. It kind of goes along with that. And it's just, and so here's something to think about, kind of changing from the car conversations and the vehicles and, back to the Jeep, keeping it simple. Toyota's 4Runner has been a very simple car. It's kept that vehicle for so many years, very popular product. And it just seems like the simple things in our lives, more so than ever, kind of just keep, just the simple basics of life. Just remember, just family and God, and having, dinner together and spending time just a family. Today more than ever, what are we doing? We're all fixated on our electronic devices and listening to all this hype on the media machine like never seen before. And here's something to think about. So here's a simple idea. The many cities felt years ago that defunding the police would be a simple task, that the police were more of the challenge of the society of these inner cities and cities. And so many people sided and they really shrunk the police forces. And so you think this through. And then after they did that, they came to realize that, well, now we don't really have the handle on crime like we used to, but there is a way to overcome that. And the states or cities raise their criminal, laws, being that if you're a person who commits a crime, one, is it a serious crime? And so in California, I know for a fact that if you want to steal something from a store, if it's $9.99 or less, if it's under $1,000, there's no sitting attorney general or judge that's going to persecute you, because the laws have been rewritten to accommodate those that want to steal, and they don't need the police involved. So it's really kind of accomplished two things. First thing accomplished is they were able to defund the police force. They don't need as many police in the streets to be enforcing laws, and then it gave the opportunity for people that really are in dire straits and feel that they've been shorted in life. They can go to the store now and they can steal, a few weeks worth of food and clothing or whatever else they may need, and they won't have to go to jail. And it keeps the judges and the court system free, having more simple, I guess, court cases that bring in just the real deal of somebody killing somebody, even the degree, and that's even kind of getting, kind of misunderstood as well. But whole point is, it's pretty incredible how it's simple. You get rid of the police to a degree, and you change the laws to persecute people, and in the end, it keeps the court system simpler. But sadly, for the people that are retailers, it's more of a struggle and challenge to simply stay in business. Oh my goodness gracious, I can talk all day, right? Or can I? Yeah. Anyways, I just saw this morning lots of things, that you can talk about and being simple, but it just seems to me that I've talked about this so many times over the years of being in my business. Isn't it? Don't you just want the simple job? Don't you just want the job where you get a task to do, and you do the task, you complete the task, and you're good and you're done, instead of being bugged 50 times on email or 50 times on text messaging, or having to rehash in a meeting with others on how it gets done? Who hasn't been involved in this, that works in corporate America or corporate business or even in small business, where you just want to complete a task and then you get others involved and the task that was so simple gets so complicated? Anybody know these stories? Is anybody here married? Do you know these stories in relationships? It just seems could be so simple. Yeah, I think more than ever, when do we just go back to the basics of mankind and society, of respect others? You respect others, they should respect you back. Have a God or something bigger than you in your life to recognize that hopefully that will have influence in how you live this physical world. Doesn't that seem like that's a simple idea? You go to work to actually get a check to try to pay your bills instead of expecting somebody else to pay for them. Isn't that kind of just simple? You live a life of being drug-free and not relying on drugs to make you happy. Wouldn't that seem to be just a simple life? Interesting enough, yesterday I saw, you don't know what to believe, but they say that the third highest mortality rate in the world is based off of prescription drugs. I've talked about this numerous times on my channel, and you see these entertainers that drop dead. Every one of them has a whole batch of drugs in them. In fact, that Bob Lee, the guy in San Francisco, that real initial Google or guy that created pay app on the phone or whatever it was that was stabbed to death there in San Francisco. Well, it's coming to find out it wasn't just some random homeless person stabbing and killing people. It was one of his friends and one of his allies that he knew of business-wise, and dating his sister maybe. A lot of variables, but they released his toxicology report, and he had cocaine and ketamethine or something, ketamine and alcohol in his blood. So the guy had like three different things in his body. How stable and how I mean, it's just. I tell my daughter all the time. It's like in today's world, more than ever, you're dealing with people that do serious drugs, and to think the next morning they get out of bed and go to work or go to where they do, that they're really in a stable state of mind. You're kidding yourself. I mean, drugs just don't like evaporate out of your body in 2 hours. So the whole point is, boy, can we just go back to simple things of life and not having to smoke pot all day to get through your day? I just think more than ever we are living in a pothead society more than ever, because people just start mouthing off and are so rude and just do radical things, and you just say to yourself, "There's no way that person is in a stable mind." All right, I'm going to leave it at that. It gets long, I know that. But hey, everybody, let's wrap it up to simple conversations. And once again, appreciate everybody watching my channel. Appreciate everybody that tunes into my channel. And I hope this stuff here just kind of gives you something in the morning as you're driving down the road to work or whatever you're doing, just something to listen to and just views and ideas. And that's all it is. I'm not here to be the savior of the world. That's not my channel. I just like to share my ideas and views. That's all it is. And hopefully others can just feel like, yeah, I'm on the same page, or no, you're way off, man. You're kooky. Probably have some people tune in and turn it off after a few minutes. I get all that. But anyways, hey, thanks for watching. And where are we going this weekend? Are we going to Tennessee? I hope so, but I don't know. A lot going on. And it's already hard to believe it's already Wednesday. So usually I go to Tennessee. I try to leave Wednesday evening so I get a Thursday, Friday, Saturday down there, but I don't think that'll happen. Not today. And today's the last day of my kid's school. Wow. Whew. Time. Anybody, geez, wow. All right, thanks for watching. God bless. Stay safe and stay tuned. Have a great day.